And it is this book where Dumbledore just kind of starts like, "Oh, the three of you think this is what's."
Don't say I don't deny it. Deny it immediately. Harry, no, I didn't, and I'm going.
Welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles, to Squibs Corner. I am Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and tonight we're jumping into chapter 17 of book 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Cat, Rat, and Dog.
You know what this title reminds me of? It reminds me of Family Guy. Because there's an episode where Peter's like, "Cat dog? How does he? Does the other one just puke when he goes, and vice versa?"
Yeah,
oh my god,
that show, Cat Dog. Yeah, this reminded me of like a reading book, a learning to read book. See spot, run, cat, rat, dog type stuff. Yeah, this is a good chapter. Chapter 17, Cat, Rat, and Dog. We're going to review where we left off. Chapter 16, Professor Trelawney's prediction. But before we do that, we want to thank everybody for listening. If you've got any Harry Potter friends that you think would enjoy our content, enjoy our streams, enjoy our YouTube, let them know. Squibs Corner. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Anywhere you get your podcast, we're there. We appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening, and thank you so much for being along with the ride.
Rate, comment.
Yeah.
I mean, any type of interaction would help us get pushed out there. Yes.
We love it.
Yes, we love it.
So, chapter 16, Professor Trelawney's prediction. To sum it up, because a lot happened in that chapter. It's finals week for the third years, and the last exam that Harry has is divination. And he's with Professor Trelawney, and he does crystal ball gazing. And he says that he sees a hippogriff with his head fully intact, in which Professor Trelawney was a little disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed.
Wow.
And as he's cleaning up, Professor Trelawney starts speaking in a very different voice, very different tone than she usually does. And it's basically to a tune that Voldemort's helper is coming back tonight. He will be freed tonight. 12 years. These chains will be dropped tonight, and that
I would never claim to envision something as far
I
fetched
would
as
never,
that.
Yeah, never do that. And so Harry obviously finds that very disconcerting, and he's like, "I got to go tell Ron and Hermione immediately." Until there's a note from Hagrid, and then Harry doesn't bring it up at all. So
Right.
It doesn't bring it up at all. But
He doesn't.
They lost the appeal. Buckbeak lost the appeal. He's going to be executed at sunset. So Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they decide to go down there. Hermione retrieves the invisibility cloak. They go down there. They meet with Hagrid, and they have to leave pretty quickly because Dumbledore, Fudge, McNair. Is there somebody else, or is it just Fudge and McNair from the Ministry?
I think there was another person.
I feel like there's somebody else there. I don't think Lucius was there.
No.
But I feel like somebody else was there. Anyway, so they have to leave, and while they're leaving, they hear a huge thud at sunset, and they stop in their tracks.
Trying to run off.
Yeah. They stop.
Yeah, that invisibility cloak issues pop up with it in this chapter as well. I think it's either this chapter.
It does.
Or...
Yeah.
Okay,
it does. Yeah, it does.
Because I did listen ahead, but I was like, really? Again? What's wrong? Why can't you keep a hold of that stupid thing, man? Just come on.
Makes no sense.
I mean, to be fair, you can't just put it in your pocket.
No, it is. I mean, yes, you do have to hold on to it. It's like a cloak, right?
Yeah, I mean,
if you were to wear a cloak right now,
I wouldn't want to hold on to it, but I mean, what other choice do I have?
It's your father's invisibility cloak.
I mean, it would get annoying carrying it around, but what other choice? I mean, obviously the other choice is just throw it on the ground and forget about it.
Which is a choice that is made. So there we go. So that brings us to our 7-word summaries for chapter 17.
I'm curious to see what you came up with. I came up with 2 different ones. I'm gonna go with the latter.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a very easy 7-word summary. This chapter is all over the place.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still the good chapter. There's chapters that are all over the place that are terrible.
Yes.
But this one.
Yes. This is a great. I love this chapter. It's a great chapter.
Yeah, there's a lot of build up and a lot of payoff, and then it gets better. Mine, I went in a totally different direction. Hermione failed something and didn't seem upset.
She did.
Yes.
Not up to your usual standards, Hermione. Only 1 out of 3.
Yes. She's just like, oh, what?
She's like, what? All right, so let's jump into our 7-chapter notables, which I knew this one was going to be hard because legitimately there's 10. Legitimately,
really? Yeah, okay.
Legitimately there's 10. I had to go back and forth.
I was really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, really hard to narrow it down, but there were just some things that are revealed in this that,
and it's a short chapter too. So
yeah, it's not the longest chapter.
So there's so much happens. Like when I was listening to it, I was like, how many chapters ahead am I? This feels longer than it is. Not in a bad way, but yeah. It's a great chapter.
So, chapter notable number 1, that dog again. Number 2, the Shrieking Shack. 3, an animagus. 4, Lupin to the rescue. Number 5, Lupin's secret. Number 6, Lupin's secret. And 7, Peter Pettigrew. Let's start off with the first paragraph. So, we've just left Hagrid's, and we hear with the expectation that Buckbeak is going to be executed.
Yes.
And we hear the thud, and then they freeze. Harry's mind had gone blank with shock. The 3 of them stood transfixed with horror under the invisibility cloak. The very last rays of the setting sun were casting a bloody light over the long, shadowed grounds. Then, behind them, they heard a wild howling.
See, even the introduction to this chapter is great. That's a great paragraph.
It's a great paragraph.
So
yeah.
All right. Harry was ready to turn around and head back to Hagrid's, but Ron and Hermione stopped him, which, you got the Minister for Magic down there. Do not.
Yeah, of all people that should not be outside, it's you, Harry.
Ron, the voice of reason, which he is the voice of reason quite often throughout the book series.
The books,
yes.
the movies rob him
yeah.
of his voice of reason. Yeah.
So Ron knew they'd be in trouble if they went back down. If Dumbledore and Fudge knew that Harry was out of the castle at night, like we said, it wouldn't be good.
No.
Dumbledore probably would be like, "Oh, hey, Harry, what's up? Is that cloak coming in handy?"
Yeah. Harry, why are you out here? 50 points to Gryffindor. Very brave of you to be out here. Very, very brave of you. And to stand up to your friend. Anyone can stand up to their enemies.
I could just picture him making a motion like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" And like acting like he's putting a cloak on or something, like, "Cover yourself up, Harry."
Yeah.
As they headed towards the castle, darkness was settling over the grounds. Ron had to stop so that he could contain Scabbers. It just seemed that Scabbers was doing everything in his power to get away from Ron. Then Harry saw Crookshanks slithering through the grass toward them and thought he knew exactly why Scabbers was acting that way. After everything, Ron... What?
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. After everything Ron could do, Scabbers was able to wriggle free, and he hit the ground running, immediately followed by Crookshanks. Before Harry and Hermione could stop him, though, Ron had left the protection of the invisibility cloak and was after Scabbers. And it's very in the movies. It's funny to see Ron just completely ignoring what just happened with Buckbeak and just completely running around very loudly chasing Scabbers.
Yeah. And there's a few things in this chapter. So obviously, if you've read the entire book, you kind of know where it leads. And then when you come back and you read this chapter, you kind of read some things like this. Knowing what we know, Scabbers knew that he was under an invisibility cloak. Right? So Scabbers, now is the time to just be quiet. Yeah, you're under an invisibility cloak. There's no reason that he should be trying to escape outside.
I've never thought of that, nor have I heard anybody mention it.
I mean, just think about it.
Have you ever heard anybody mention it before, though?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Not that I know of. But given what Scabbers is truly afraid of.
Yeah.
What he's truly afraid of, knowing that he's under the invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
Just stay quiet.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense, yeah.
Let them sneak back up to the castle, get to the castle, and then escape inside the castle.
Yep.
There are far more places to hide in the castle. So anyway, I digress. So Ron leaves the protection of the invisibility cloak to go after his rat that's now being chased by Crookshanks. So now Harry and Ron, who want to help, or Harry and Hermione, who want to help Ron, they run after him, but the two of them can't really run all out while under the invisibility cloak. So
which makes sense.
Makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
So now they too remove themselves. So now all three of them are running around. Yes, it's getting dark, but presumably they are on the path from Hagrid's hut to the castle, running around where Fudge and Dumbledore are going to come. It's just not a recipe for success.
It doesn't say what they did with the cloak, but you assume they threw it on the ground instead of.
Well, it says in the book like waving like a banner behind them.
Okay, but they do obviously drop it though.
Well, so it's like, are they holding it and running like a banner, or they ran so fast it's just falling to the ground like a banner? It's not specific. We don't learn the fate of it in this chapter. We learn the fate of it in the following chapter, because that's Jeremiah thinks we're doing the
because my 7th chapter notable talked about chapter 18.
So anyway, so now they're running pell-mell towards Ron. Ron's shouting at Crookshanks to get away. And then it says, we hear this thud. Ron gets Scabbers. Harry and Hermione stop right in front of him. And they're like trying to get Ron and themselves back under the cloak before Dumbledore and Fudge make their way back to the castle. But before they could do anything, chapter notable number 1, they heard the soft pounding of gigantic paws. Something was bounding toward them out of the dark, an enormous, pale-eyed, jet black dog. Before Harry could grab his wand, the dog had made a huge leap, pushed Harry in the chest, basically, knocking him over, and the dog goes soaring past, and he growls, turns around, and he comes back, and he's running towards Harry and Ron, and he latches on to Ron's arm, and he begins to drag Ron off effortlessly. It says Harry tried to grab the hair of the dog, but the dog just went. Like, the dog's just like, stop.
And again, it's like, so we got to remember that, the last time Sirius Black got into the castle, he tried to, quote unquote, accidentally attack the wrong kid, which was Ron. So
accidentally, yeah.
And right now he's going straight for Ron. So
the book kind of says it almost seems like Ron pushed Harry out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, they were there together because obviously they were trying to get the cloak back on, and
but still,
Harry gets
if
up.
he was going to Harry, pushed out of the way or not, he would have let go of Ron.
He would have let go of Ron, exactly, but he doesn't.
I mean, we all know why he grabs Ron, but
yeah,
it's just, I wish I would have known remembered what I thought about this when I first read it.
Oh, I remember. I was like,
I'm pretty sure I watched the movies first, so.
Okay. No, I remember it was one of those like, oh, and even Sirius says it here in a minute. He could have grabbed Harry, Ron, or Hermione. Yeah, they all would have come for the other one. Like he says that. He's like, knew you'd come. Yep, your dad would have done the same to me, So it's like, okay, I've got Ron. Let's go.
Yeah. So as if it wasn't enough to see her best friend being dragged off by a monstrous black dog, all of a sudden Harry felt something slam into the side of his face, and he heard Hermione scream with pain as well. They had chased Squibs right into the base of the Whomping Willow, and Harry and Hermione were well within reach of the branches. Now, you also have to remember with the Whomping Willow, it destroyed the flying car.
Destroyed a car.
Yeah. So
and now it just hit Harry and Hermione, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to get up from this.
Oh. Imagine getting slapped by a tree.
Nope.
I've driven so many trucks, like mixer trucks and the trucks I drive where I work now. You have to get close to trees that now sometimes when I'm in a car or the truck, windows up all the way, here comes a branch, I go,
yes.
I'm in a car.
Thanks. Yes.
You immediately feel stupid when you do that. So at the base of that tree was the dog dragging Ron into a hole between the roots. Ron was able to hook one of his legs around the root to try to stop him from being pulled into the hole. Then, the one sentence that makes me flinch every time I read it.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
But a horrible crack cut the air like a gunshot.
Oh my gosh.
Ron's leg was broken, and a moment later, his foot vanished from sight. Man, could you imagine? I'd never broken my leg. So I don't think I could imagine, but
no.
Oh.
So I assume, the femur, the thigh bone,
is one of the strongest bones.
It's the strongest bone.
Yeah.
But if his foot is wrapped around a root, I'm assuming it's his tibia, which is also a very, very, very difficult bone to snap.
And a strong dog.
Strong dog.
Jeez.
Strong dog. Ugh. But Jim Dale, when he does it, but a horrible crack. And I'm like, oh.
That's good. Hermione wanted to go get help, but Harry didn't think they had time. The branches continued to flail. They had to do something. Harry wasn't able to get any closer to the base of the tree, but Crookshanks was able to slither to the knot at the base of the trunk, place its paw upon the tree, and it stood still.
Yeah.
So which version of this scene do you like better, the book or the movie?
Bro, I don't even know what happens in the movie.
Well, in the movie...
Oh, don't they use a Leviosa, Alohomora and do a stick to it? Or is that later in the books?
I think that's later. Yeah, that's later. But right now, pretty much Harry gets picked up by the tree or Hermione's picked up by the tree. Then one of the kind of lets go and Harry gets tackled down into the hole by Hermione. So it's kind of swinging them around.
I mean...
I guess you like the book better because you don't.
Well, here's the thing: if it's an inconsequential thing, I really don't care. They.
Yeah, well, I get why the movie's a little different. I mean, it probably looks better.
Do you feel like the movies appropriately show the intelligence of Crookshanks?
I don't think so because I don't remember.
I mean, I'm genuinely asking. It's been so long since I've watched Prisoner of Azkaban.
I don't remember Crookshanks much in the movie.
But he is in the movie. He is in the movies. He's got to be in the movies.
I believe so. If he is, it's not nearly as much as the books.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, at any rate, Crookshanks comes through, gets, presses the the knot on the trunk of the tree, it stops, and Hermione's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Crookshanks knew what to do." And then Harry's like, "Yeah, that freaking cat's been working with the dog this whole time."
Yeah.
And I wish Hermione would have been like, "How long have you known this?" What in the world?
Yeah, her reaction would either be, "How long have you known this?" or, "Harry, you sound foolish."
But
Cat working with a dog.
They've got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got a lot going on right now. So processing time is not present. So Crookshanks goes into the hole. Harry goes in. Hermione goes in. They follow the passage. They're panting. They're running at a crouch. They finally reach the inn. They find what the book says, a room, a very disordered, dusty room. Paper was peeling from the walls. There were stains all over the floor. Every piece of furniture was broken as though somebody had smashed it, and the windows were all boarded up. So they pull themselves inside from this tunnel. And then to the right, they see a door that's wide open. So they look at each other, and they go through it. So Hermione, as they're walking, chapter notable number 2, she realizes, Harry, I think we're in the Shrieking Shack. So we've just been introduced. We're introduced to the Shrieking Shack in book 2 or book 3. It's not talked about in book 1 and book 2.
Yeah, we're introduced to it, but we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the only thing that we know about it is ghosts are afraid to go into it. It's the most haunted dwelling in England. We see it when Harry and Ron are in Hogsmeade. They're over there because Draco's like, thinking about moving into the Shrieking House. But now they're actually inside it. And even earlier, like as they're going through the tunnel, Hermione asks Harry, like, "Hey, where does this lead?" And he goes, "I don't know. It's not on the map." So anyway, Hermione's like, "Yeah, we're in the Shrieking Shack." Harry looks around and he's like, "Yeah, everything looks like it's been smashed. Everything is in disarray." So he's like, "Yeah, checks out." And then they hear something upstairs, and again they both look at each other, they nod, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's go up, let's do it."
Yeah, and as they reached the room upstairs, they heard two things, a moan and a purr. Holding their wands tight, Harry kicked open the door as they entered, seeing Crookshanks lying on a bed and a panicked Ron laying on the floor, protecting his broken leg. As they ran to him, Ron, he wasn't so excited to see them. He started yelling, Chapter notable number 3. Chapter Bowl number 3. "Not a dog, Harry. It's a trap. He's the dog. He's an animagus." Harry turned around to see what Ron was staring at, but before he could do anything, the door slammed shut behind, and there was a man standing there. So the book says, a mass of filthy, matted hair hung to his elbows. If eyes hadn't been shining out of the deep, dark sockets, he might have been a corpse. The waxy skin was stretched so tightly over the bones of his face it looked like a skull. His yellow teeth were bared in a grin. It was Sirius Black. "Expelliarmus!" he croaked, pointing Ron's wand at them. Harry and Hermione's wands flew in the air as well. Black caught all of them.
I know why she kept him as Azkaban, Sirius Black.
Here at this point?
But it's like you've been out of prison for months.
Yeah.
You don't need to look like that anymore. Especially
even in the movies, when you see him and then you see him like kind of showered up and looking normal, I'm like,
yeah.
For the longest time, I thought it was different actors. Look completely
different. Really?
Look completely different. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you've been out of prison now. Clean yourself up.
Well,
the last thing that escaped convicts do is continue wearing the things that they were wearing in prison.
I guess. I mean, one of the first things you're going to do is eat. I mean,
yeah, like you're going to get some food. You're going to hunt. You're going to, you're a wizard now.
But everybody is looking. There's Dementors everywhere. So
I guess I don't know if that's a thing, but.
Yeah, we don't. Is it ever mentioned how powerful Sirius? I don't think it ever is. if he's powerful or if he's not that powerful.
We know he's a strong wizard, but no,
Yeah,
I don't think we ever really get any.
We don't get in depth.
You know, we know McGonagall talks about how well he and James were at magic, more so than Lupin, far more than Pettigrew.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, could he do magic without his wand? But I think your wand has to be on your person.
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
able
you have
to
to
do.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So now they're in the room with Sirius Black, who is an animagus. So that's how he's been getting around. The dog that he's been seeing. Yeah, great. So
yeah, it makes sense too. Like, how is he getting in a castle? Oh, it's a dog. Like,
well, and he's been working with Crookshanks.
Well, but still, like, if anybody saw a dog, would they question, like, why is there a dog? Like, nobody has a dog there, right? There's no dog.
Nobody's got a dog. Cats, owls, and toads. So I think
even
the
as a
sight of a dog,
it would still be questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't assume, oh, that's an animagus. You would just go, why is there a dog here?
Yeah.
So maybe it would still work.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that how he's getting in the castle undetected.
Yeah.
So.
And I can't remember. Part of me says they never told Dumbledore. Sirius was part of the original Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, well, did Dumbledore know that he was an animagus? Because later in the book, Lupin apologizes and kind of tells Dumbledore, because he apologized. He was afraid to tell Dumbledore because, then he's going to judge me for what we did in school. So the assumption is that nobody there knew that he was an animagus. He could have easily buddied up to Hagrid, just like Scabbers buddied up to Ron.
Yeah, it's just so weird. That's why. I guess I gotta wait till the next chapter. But it's weird that nobody knew, and it is this book where Dumbledore just kind of starts like, "Oh, the three of you, you think this is what's going on? Okay, I trust you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes you what? Did he already know, or is he just blindly trusting? Three third-year students. So there's a lot of questionable things that come up.
Yeah. So now they're three 13-year-olds. Well, I think Ron and Hermione are 14 at this point. Anyway, so they are in the Shrieking Shack. They don't have their wands with them. Ron has a broken leg. An escaped convict who murdered 13 people and turned Harry's parents over to Voldemort is there with him in the Shrieking Shack. So it's a less than ideal situation.
Well, then he starts monologuing too, which, it makes perfect sense, but it's a classic.
Yeah.
Classic monologuing situation.
I like it. Especially if it's one of those things like, oh, I've been thinking about this day for a long time. It's good. It's I've gone over this in my head many times. Yeah.
So do you remember, we'll get to the movie when we get to the movie, but do you remember this scene from the movie?
I remember it dark and he's in prisoner's clothes. And I kind of remember.
Because I think they did the scene very well.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't remember it, not doing well, but.
I think you'll like it when you see it.
So Sirius, talking to Harry, I thought you'd come and help your friend. Your father would have done the same for me. Brave of you, not to run for a teacher. I'm grateful. It will make everything much easier. Harry did not like the fact that Sirius Black mentioned his father. That made his blood boil. And rage.
The same thing, yep.
Yeah, rage kind of crept up on him pretty quick. So Harry just starts walking towards Sirius Black. Not just ready to hurt him, not ready to defend himself from him, but ready to kill him. Ron and Hermione try to hold him back. Obviously, Ron in immense pain from getting up to hold Harry back. And Ron yells at Black, "If you want to kill Harry, you'll have to kill us too." And then Sirius kind of takes, like, he says that it was very unexpected when he says this. He looks at Ron and he tells him to lie back down so that he doesn't damage his leg any further.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, don't you want to kill Ron? Don't you want to kill Harry? Like what's going on? But then it gets serious again. Ron doubles down. "Did you hear me? You'll have to kill all three of us." And then the line that I hate. "There will only be one murder tonight," said Black, and his grin widened.
He did a pretty good Sirius Black voice.
I don't want to lie to you. I like doing voices. Probably. I'm a mimicker by nature. So if I were to talk to somebody that has an accent within 10 minutes, I'll start incorporating their accent into my speech while talking to them.
Good, yeah.
My wife finds I don't do it on purpose. My wife says it's very rude that you do that. I said, well, I don't. Like, I'm not.
Very rude that I do what?
Yeah. But it's funny because my father, who, born and raised, which I was born and raised in the South, but he has a far more Southern accent than I do. And most people, when they speak to me, they're like, "Oh, you're from Charlotte? You don't have an accent." Well, I mean, I grew up in a Charlotte that was a metropolitan, right? A big city Charlotte. He grew up in a sprawling Charlotte, very different. But if I'm with him for 10 minutes, I'll do something. I'm like, "Golly, I can't believe he'll do that." And then my wife will go, "Golly, I can't believe you did." It's so funny. I love it. But I that to say, not tooting my own horn, but I've spent my whole life mimicking accents and doing voices and.
Yeah. Well, after Sirius said there's only going to be one murder tonight, Harry didn't like that, so he launched his own verbal assault at Black. "Why's that?" Harry spat, trying to wrench himself free of Ron and Hermione. "Didn't care last time, did you? Didn't mind slaughtering all of those muggles to get to Pettigrew. What's the matter? Gone soft in Azkaban? He killed my mum and dad!" And then he launched himself at Black, leaving all caution to the wind. All he wanted to do was hurt Black. They caught Black by surprise, and there was a brief scrimmage, not a beef scrimmage. It's something completely different.
Skirmish.
Scrimmage
is sports.
There was a brief tussle.
I love a good tussle. I love a good tussle.
It almost worked, but Harry was obviously overpowered. Oh, you see what I did there? I didn't even realize I did it until after I did it.
Obviously.
And he found himself with Black's hand around his neck. "No," he hissed. "I've waited too long." Then Hermione kicked Black as hard as she could, and he let go of Harry. Harry shot up from the floor and saw his wand rolling from the pile of bodies. He leapt towards it, but it was met by Crookshanks trying to prevent him from getting his wand. Harry, fighting off Crookshanks and collecting all three wands, took aim at Sirius Black. Now, I don't know, do you have a cat or cats?
I'm embarrassed to say, but yes, I have too many cats.
Yeah, I have. Well, yeah. Trying to take something forcibly from a cat, unless they're declawed, is not something you want to do. It's not.
You know what's funny? My cats, I say all of my cats because there's too many, except for our unofficial cat.
How many cats do you have?
So I officially own 4 cats.
Okay.
Unofficially own another cat. That's the neighbor's cat. But the kids there are rougher with that cat,
Okay,
so she hangs out at our place all the time.
Yeah, we officially have 3 outdoor cats. One just wandered over and won't leave.
Yeah,
I call him I'll edit myself, but his name, and this might make some cat lovers mad, but I call him "Get the F out of here." My girl was like, "That's so rude." I'm like, "Well, that's his name. He's a jerk. He attacks the other cats. I can't even pet him. I've tried, and he scratched the crap out of me. But then we also have one indoor cat, strictly indoor cat. So
yeah, our cats are all indoor, outdoor cats. But the beautiful thing about the cats that we officially own, we got all of them as kittens, which means that which would have been 4-year-old, would handle them every day. So they're all of our cats are very, very patient, and two of our cats want to be best friends with my dog, and my dog tolerates them. So
our two dogs play with the cat, and I go, that cat's gonna think it's a dog.
I've got one of our cats. We call him Z. His name's Zatara, which is from the movie the Count of Monte Cristo, which is one of my favorite movies. Zatara means driftwood, but anyway, he's all black. And you can get him on the ground, and you can just and he loves it. You know, some cats, they'll like get sensitive and try to bite you. He's all about it.
Yeah, my cat loves it, but she's a kitten, so she still doesn't know claws like retract.
Yes.
I'm like, ow. So your cats learn to retract her claws when she's playing, or
they just don't have. Yeah, they've never. We've maybe gotten scratched once or twice on accident, but never.
It hurts, man. Their claws are sharp.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
So now Harry's fighting off Crookshanks so that he can get his wand, and eventually Harry ends up with all 3 wands. And then Dumbledore. So then he's pointing the wands at, the book says, at Sirius's heart. And then Sirius goes, "Going to kill me, Harry."
Right, that line right there always kind of catches me off guard a little bit, because he's kind of laughing a little bit when he says it, right? That's just the way.
I don't think in the book he's laughing.
No, maybe not laughing, but it comes off as like, or maybe it should. I don't know. It's just
you don't.
Hearing him say it always throws me off. Maybe it's because I know what I know, right?
No, it just says Black was sprawled at the bottom of the wall. His thin chest rose and fell rapidly as he watched Harry walking slowly nearer, his wand pointing straight at Black's heart. "Going to kill me, Harry," he whispered. Harry stopped right above him, his wand still pointing at Black's chest, looking down at him. A livid bruise was rising around Black's left eye, and his nose was bleeding. So I've never read it as Sirius Black laughing.
Yeah, I don't know why I've always read it like that. Yeah. But like I say, maybe it's because I know what I know.
Sure.
And I'm just like, oh, yeah.
So anyway, Black says, "You're going to kill me, Harry."
"You killed my parents."
"I don't deny it. But if you knew the whole story."
"The whole story? You sold them to Voldemort. That's all I need to know."
"You've got to listen to me. You'll regret it if you don't. You don't understand."
"I understand a lot better than you think. You never heard her, did you? My mum, trying to stop Voldemort killing me. And you did that. You did it."
You know that hurt Sirius. You know that broke Sirius. Because Sirius wasn't there. And we know that Sirius went there immediately afterwards. Because
I never thought of it. Oh, what a gut punch.
You know.
So
James,
many emotions. And he's been thinking about it for the last...
Thinking about it. Yes.
12 years, right? 12 years.
Yes. I mean, you know that broke.
And to hear Harry yelling it at you.
Yeah. So, but before either of them could say another word, something ginger streaked past Harry. Crookshanks leapt onto Black's chest and settled himself there right over Black's heart. Black blinked and looked down at the cat. Black tried to get Crookshanks off, but he wouldn't move, and Crookshanks just stared at Harry. But Harry, again, with the anger that's inside of him, was like, fine, I'll kill the cat too. He raised his wand, pointed it at Black. Moments stretched, moments passed. And then they heard something downstairs, quickly making its way upstairs. In chapter notable number 4, the door flies open, and Professor Lupin runs in, wand raised.
My question here is, when it says Black blinked and looked down at the cat, I read that as he's kind of looking down like, well, what? Like a little almost confused, like, what's happening? And it always throws because he's been hanging out with Crookshanks. So the way it's written makes it sound like Sirius doesn't know why the cat is there. To me, at least.
Well, to me, it seems like, he looks down and blinks almost like so there's several things happening, right? Mm-hmm. Sirius thinks that everyone in the world hates him.
Yeah. Well,
so to see,
point,
right?
Point, yes.
So to see Crookshanks come up, see a wand. We know Crookshanks is smart. Mm-hmm. Crookshanks sees the wand pointed at Black's heart, and Crookshanks comes and gets between the wand and Black. So part of it, I think, Sirius looks down and is like,
surprised.
Like maybe he thinks because of what all happened, probably even thinks I'm not deserving of somebody saving my life because of what happened. So I think there's a lot of emotions there. And then to get the cat to move, like, no, if I'm going to get hurt, let me get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt as well. So I think there's a lot. And, it's funny. I didn't think that the first time I read it. I thought, okay, they're working together. So maybe Crookshanks is like Ron. Oh, if you're going to kill Harry, you're going to kill us too. And is Crookshanks like, oh, if you're going to kill him, you're going to kill us too. That's kind of how
so many ways to read it.
So it's that's why books are so great, right?
Yeah.
And why text messages are so terrible. If you truly want to convey how you feel, call somebody and let them hear your voice. Text messages can be interpreted many ways. Follow me for more tips and tricks.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't until I went, oh, he's sick. He did not. Okay, mistype. Cool.
So a little backstory. I was under the weather for a couple of days, and you had sent me a text like, hey, we're on schedule. We're good. And I was under the weather. So I sent Jeremiah a text saying, hey, man, I can't do the script today. And what I meant to write was, I'm not up to doing the podcast tonight.
Yeah.
What I sent was, I'm feeling sick. I can't do this. I'm not up for doing the podcast at night. And
my friend.
You
ended it with my friend. And
my friend.
Like, oh, this sounds like a breakup.
Jeremiah's like, is he quitting the podcast? Like he said that to me. And I was like, no, I'm not quitting the podcast. What are you doing?
I was like, man, he got sick and just said, oh, I can't do this
anymore.
But then I went, oh, he's sick. I think that's supposed to say tonight.
Tonight.
Because I thought that was Tuesday. I thought we were supposed to do the podcast Wednesday. Then I look back at our text and go, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. I was a day off, so.
All good. But we're here.
Yes.
We're doing the podcast.
We're here. We'll be doing this podcast because of this reboot until we both decide we don't need to do this anymore, or we change direction and do a podcast about something else. I don't know. So back to the story, back to the
You know
chapter.
what we could do? You know what would be fun is a Mistborn podcast.
You got to read
where I'm reading one chapter at a time.
For the first time. Because they're great books. They're great books. And
I bought the first one.
You did?
I own the first one.
Have you read it?
No, I have not read the first one.
It's weird because my cousin, the one that I was doing a podcast with prior, he had introduced me to it. And I was like, this isn't like it's about war and stuff. Like, it's not something I'm into. Then I started listening to it and I went, this is amazing because there's magic and stuff involved. So, oh yeah, no, it's great. I think you'll love it. Yeah, it's especially if you listen. Well, you're not into the graphic audio, but it's the best thing I've ever heard. Yeah, it's great. Anyways, okay.
Back to Lupin. Right. Back to Lupin coming in the door with wand raised.
Yes. So you just know Harry, Ron, and Hermione must have been insanely relieved to see Lupin there. Just like Harry was when Snape found the Marauder's map, and then Lupin took him to his office and said, Harry, I'm disappointed in you. That's the worst. But it gets a little worse. So Lupin quickly surveyed the room. Then he shouted, Expelliarmus! Disarming Harry and Hermione. Lupin caught all three wands. They just cannot catch a break.
Cannot catch a break.
Which I find Expelliarmus once. He didn't say he pointed it at each of them. He just said he did it once.
Yeah.
And all three wands.
Yeah.
That's impressive to me.
I don't think Ron was holding. Yeah. I don't think Ron was holding one. I think Hermione had both.
Unless one of them had all two or three.
Harry had his. Hermione had two.
But that's still impressive. Like,
still impressive that he only
disarmed two people at once.
Yeah.
And in Sirius, he did the same thing too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So with all three wands in his hand, he walked over to Black, looking down at him. Harry regretted not finishing Black when he had the chance. He hated that he was going to be handed back over to the Dementors. Then Lupin shook Harry out of his regret by speaking directly to Black. Where is he, Sirius? Harry was shocked. What did he mean? What was he talking about? Black pointed straight at Ron. Then Lupin started saying some confusing stuff. But then, Lupin muttered, staring at Black, so intently that it seemed he was trying to read his mind. Why hasn't he shown himself before now? Unless... Lupin's eyes suddenly widened, as though he was seeing something beyond Sirius Black, something that none of the rest could see. Unless he was the one. Unless you switched without telling me. And Black nodded. Which...
Harry and Hermione and Ron are like, what are we talking about?
Well, I find it impressive because this whole thing here with Sirius and Lupin reminds me kind of myself. Like, I can go in a room, read it very quickly, kind of like what he did. But, man, he just figured it out real quick. Like, unless he was the one, unless you switched without telling me. Like, you just figured it out. Like, I mean, he's probably also been thinking about it a long time. Like, that was his friend group. So he's probably trying to make sense of it all, right? So,
well, and what we learn here in just a second, the world believes that... I'll say it in a second. Right? So we're gonna put a pin on this, and we're gonna come back in a second. So he's figuring this out. He says to Black, unless you switched and you didn't tell me, and Black nods. So the Golden Trio, you got to be like scratching their heads. What are they talking about? And then Lupin did something that none of them expected. Lowers his wand. He looks at Black. Professor walks to Black's side, seizes his hand, pulls him up to his feet. Crookshanks falls to the floor, and then Lupin and Black hug like they're brothers.
Yeah.
And Harry screams. Hermione screams. Lupin's trying to calm him down, but Hermione was furious, right? She yells that she'd been covering up for him all year, that he'd been helping Sirius.
I love every time Hermione speaks up. Like, especially when I've been covering for you all year. It's like, I really like when she speaks up, stands up for herself. And it's...
Yeah.
I don't know why I like it so much. I just do. It's like out of context. Hermione catches you off guard.
It's out of character for her.
Yeah.
She's very smart. She doesn't. Not a lot of times. There are times in the books where she does assert herself, like she does get to this point. But
unexpected.
It's unexpected, but it's totally awesome when she does it. You know, I've been covering up for you all year. You've been helping Sirius into the castle, even after they trusted you all year. And then she turned to Harry. She's like, Harry, don't trust him. He's been helping Black get into the castle. He wants you dead too. And then chapter notable number 5, he's a werewolf. And that's when Lupin goes, 1 out of 3, Hermione, not up to your usual standards. Lupin did confirm that he was a werewolf. But he's like, no, I have not been helping Sirius Black get into the castle. And no, I do not want Harry dead. So 1 for 3. But he
even more confusing now, right? So
yeah. But he did ask her, like, Lupin's a great character. Love Lupin's character.
Oh, yes.
And calmly he asks Hermione how long she had known that he was a werewolf. Ages, she said, ever since Snape's essay. And he asked, did you check the lunar chart, or was it because of my body?
No. He asked if it was the essay that gave it away, or if it was his Bogart turning into the moon. And both. I was like, oh.
Let me read it for you.
Okay.
Let me read it for you.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I'm pretty sure.
Look.
Let's see who's right. It's probably you, but...
No, I'll be very happy for you if it's you. Okay. Let's see. Hermione screams. Harry, don't trust him. Okay. Ringing silence. Not at all up to your usual standards, Hermione, he said. Only 1 out of 3, I'm afraid. Odd shiver. Ron made a valiant effort. Get away from me, werewolf. Ages. Okay. Ages since I did Professor Snape's essay. He'll be delighted, said Lupin coolly. He assigned that essay hoping someone would realize what my symptoms meant. Then he says, did you check the lunar chart and realize that I was always ill at the full moon? Or did you realize that the Bogart changed into the moon when it saw me?
So I just cut you off mid-sentence is what happened.
Hey, buddy. Hey, don't. It's okay. It's okay. You meant well.
She would be
but
the one
she
to
did.
figure it out
She did mention since the essay, and it's like, okay, well, how did you figure it out? The lunar charts and when I was sick, or the Bogart? And she says both. And then in the midst of all this, he compliments her.
Yeah.
You're the cleverest witch of your age I've ever met, Hermione. And then she responds, I'm not. If I'd been a bit cleverer, I'd have told everyone what you are.
Yeah, joke's on Hermione because Lupin then says, well, everybody knows.
They already know.
The staff at least. Yeah. And they already know I'm a werewolf. And Ron was shocked that Dumbledore would hire him knowing he's a werewolf. And Lupin told him that Dumbledore had to convince some of the staff that Lupin was trustworthy, which is... exactly Dumbledore. It tracks 100%. Nobody else will give him a chance. Dumbledore's like, hey, so you're a werewolf, huh? Why don't you come teach? Why don't you come over to Hogwarts and teach?
Yeah. That
we got a potion that won't prevent you from turning into a werewolf, but it'll help calm you down slightly.
You know, it's interesting. I'll do an unofficial pop quiz here. Right? Unofficial pop quiz. Sure.
It just became official.
Now it's an official pop quiz.
Yeah.
You've read all the books.
Yeah.
Right? What real world community did J.K. Rowling kind of compare the werewolf, like kind of based her writings and descriptions of the werewolf community on in the book? Do you know?
I have not even thought to look that up.
Yeah,
but that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah, she's mentioned it several times in interviews, but it's the AIDS community.
Really?
Right. So back when AIDS first became prevalent, people didn't want to touch people with AIDS.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid that they were going to get AIDS. And so Lupin, we meet Lupin. He's almost impoverished, right? By the way he looks, by the way he dresses. And when we see in later books, there are others in the werewolf community and different things. They're kind of looked down upon because, if you're too close to a werewolf, you could get infected, different things like that. So
Lupin sets himself apart from the standard werewolf.
Yeah. So you can kind of see back up 20, 30 years and maybe now, obviously I'm not a part of the AIDS community, but if a principal was going to hire a full-time teacher that has AIDS, I guarantee you there would be other teachers there that are like, are you going to, isn't that dangerous to be around the kids? Are you sure that's something that we should do? So it's the parallels that she writes there. I think she did a really good job in doing that, but
yeah.
So trying to convince the staff, and obviously AIDS, you're not going to turn into a murderous wolf, and but
well, I just like that, like the thing she writes about is not just she finds a way to tie it into something that's real and pull it from somewhere. Like I don't know if that's how it starts or if that's kind of what. If I did this, let me look this up. How can I compare it? I don't know which one comes first, but
and it's interesting because remember, she was writing Harry Potter scenes, themes, plots, characters for 5 years before she started putting book 1 together. So we've got to assume that she had some things in book 3. She based Hagrid off of a guy she met. She based the Dementors off of the depression that she felt. So there's all sorts of things that she probably encountered in that 5 years or, even prior. Yeah. Remember, she was writing stories as a young child about a rabbit and about 7, the number 7. So I'm sure she drew off some real world experience when she was writing that. But Lupin's a great character in the book, so I love him.
He's one of the best. Yeah. But Harry yells that Dumbledore was wrong for hiring Lupin because, Lupin was helping Sirius all year long. Black lays down on the bed and Crookshanks hopped up to lay down beside him, and Lupin, cool as a cucumber, just like he always. I think that's one of the reasons people like him so much, even in stressful situations. Thus far, he's perfectly calm.
Yes,
which is good, especially if the situation's like this.
Especially like this.
Yeah, it's going to de-escalate the situation rather than escalate. So he's smart. But he told Harry that he hasn't been helping Sirius at all, and he asked them to listen. He then shocked them again. He's like, here, Harry, Hermione, here's your wands. He puts his wand in his pocket and said, there, you're armed, we're not. Now will you listen? And then Harry asked a great question. If Lupin wasn't helping Black, then how did he know he was in the Shrieking Shack?
Great question.
Great question, and also you don't think about it at the time while you're reading it, but this shows that Harry doesn't use his brain all that well because Lupin had kept the Marauders map, and apparently Harry had just forgot all about the map. I don't think he fully understood it at this point. He must not have. He must not have.
Well, I don't think, when Harry... I mean, when Lupin got the map, he really didn't say, like, oh, I know how to use this thing.
Yeah, it's a little good gotcha
He was like,
moment,
this is a Zonko's. This is like a joke. This is a trick,
Well, Harry knew he was lying, too, so...
Yeah, it's almost like, oh, did he...
But there's just little bits here and there where it's like, Harry, come on. But it's a stressful situation. I get it.
Yeah.
So Lupin goes, the map, the Marauders map. I was in my office examining it.
You know how to work it?
Of course I know how to work it. I helped write it. And then chapter notable number 6. I'm Mooney. That was my friend's nickname for me at school.
You wrote?
The important thing is, I was watching it carefully this evening because I had an idea that you, Ron, and Hermione might try to sneak out of the castle to visit Hagrid before his hippogriff was executed. And I was right, wasn't I? You might have been wearing your father's old cloak, Harry.
How'd you know about the cloak?
The number of times I saw James disappearing under it. The point is, even if you're wearing an invisibility cloak, you still show up on the Marauders map. I watched you cross the grounds and enter Hagrid's hut. 20 minutes later, you left Hagrid's hut and set off back toward the castle, but you were now accompanied by someone else.
Okay, before we move on, I just want to go back to Snape's grudge.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just want to see, let's see. Harry didn't look at Snape as they left the office, so they leave Snape's office. So this is Lupin. I don't want to hear explanations. I happen to know that this map was confiscated by Mr. Filch many years ago. Yes, I know it's a map. I don't want to know how it fell into your possession. I am, however, astounded that you didn't hand it in, particularly after what happened the last time a student left information about the castle lying around, and I can't let you have it back, Harry. Yeah. So that's all he says.
Yeah.
And then, why did Snape think I got it from the manufacturers? Because these map makers would have wanted to lure you out of the school. They'd think it extremely entertaining. Do you know them? We've met. So that's all he says about it. He does know it's a map.
But if I were Harry, I would be like, oh, Lupin knows exactly what this is.
Lupin knows.
Yeah. But Harry is like, he doesn't think that way. So.
Well, he knows it's a map, but he doesn't really give any indication that he knows how to operate it. That he knows how. But you're right. Like, you do kind of, you've met the manufacturers and you know it's a map. You could deduce that he knows.
Like I said, stressful situation. You're not going to think about that at that time. Later, you might look back and go, "Oh, of course."
Yeah. I guess I didn't connect those dots when I needed to. So so Lupin is like, went out the 3 of you, and then 4 of you came back, and Harry's like, no, nobody else was there, and Lupin's like, no. I couldn't believe my eyes at first. I thought the map was malfunctioning, but even then I saw Sirius's black dot racing towards you. He watched Sirius run into Harry. He watched as Sirius pulled 2 of them into the Whomping Willow. And Ron yells that Sirius only pulled 1 of them in. And then Lupin corrected him, saying that the map showed Sirius dragging 2 people into the Whomping Willow. And at this point, you're like, what is going on in this chapter? Like, what is happening?
It got so good that I was like, I know what happens, obviously, but I was like, I'm going to listen. I'm going to keep listening to chapter 18, which I was also like, if I do that, I'm probably going to confuse the 2 chapters, which I did.
Check. So then Lupin asks if he could see Ron's rat. Ron wasn't a fan of it, but Lupin convinced him, obviously. Ron goes to grab the rat, and Scabbers is thrashing around harder than ever. Lupin moved closer to Ron, and he seemed to be holding his breath as he gazed intently at Scabbers.
What's my rat got to do with anything?
That's not a rat. Oh, that's not a rat, croaked Sirius Black suddenly.
What do you mean? Of course he's a rat.
No, he's not, said Lupin quietly. He's a wizard. An animagus, said Black. By the name of, chapter notable number 7, Peter Pettigrew. End of chapter.
Yeah, so I think when I thought the book really aged up and got a lot better, I think in my mind I must have jumped ahead to the last,
Sure.
handful or two of chapters.
Sure.
Now I'm like, I want to keep.
Yeah.
I was almost going to text you and say, hey, throw chapter 18 in there because I want to keep going.
Let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
It's a great chapter. Man, it's a great way to end a chapter, make you want to read a good cliffhanger, make you want to read the next chapter. You find out it's a big payoff, the chapter, and the following chapters. Like everything starts paying off, and
and it's so wild because the chapter starts with, Buckbeak just got executed, and it ends with,
don't even mention him after that.
Yeah, it's like Peter Pettigrew is a wizard, but he's your rat. He's an animagus. You're like, we have been taken on a roller coaster in this chapter.
It's crazy too, because like as we get to the end, like, they've done some, the end of every book ends with something terrible's happening, and then they save the day. But this, there's two things going on at the same time, so. Yeah, it's great that they can handle.
Really, you could say three things. You've got the Buckbeak storyline, you've got the Sirius Black storyline, and now you've got a Peter Pettigrew storyline.
Yeah,
and
true.
So that conflicts Harry in a later chapter as well, right? Because it's like, am I more concerned with the Buckbeak storyline? Am I more concerned with the Sirius Black storyline? Am I more concerned with the Peter Pettigrew storyline? Well, like, how do I...
When it gets to this point, the Buckbeak thing just, like you said, is stupid in contrast to the rest of the book.
Yeah.
There's a payoff, yes.
Sure. But not nearly to the level of...
Yeah.
Of the Sirius and Peter Pettigrew, like that's the sometimes I kind of feel
I would say there's a couple issues with that payoff as well, but we'll get to it when we get there.
Yeah, very true. So let me go back to earlier when Sirius Black is like, there will be only one murder tonight, and I was like, I've got issues with that. That's right. If he's there for Peter Pettigrew, don't just be all crazed. There's only going to be one murder tonight. Like I
think he's been in Azkaban for 12 years, and this is all he's been thinking about.
Yeah, but I dislike it when people say things,
monologuing.
And it's like, it's just like I don't mind the monologuing. But, it's like, you murdered my parents. I don't deny it. Deny it.
You should
Don't say I don't deny it. Deny it immediately. Harry, no, I didn't, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. No, you did. Harry, everyone thinks I did, but I broke out of prison so that I could prove my innocence. And I haven't been breaking into Hogwarts for you. I've been breaking in for Scabbers. Scabbers is an animagus. Scabbers is Peter Pettigrew. He was like all of this, like, there will only be one murder tonight. No. Just get to the point.
Well, I also want to point out, like, the amount of times we've read, listened to these books, watched the movies for me. We're not pointing out it should have been written like this. Why didn't they? Why didn't they? Why didn't they?
Sure.
It's, man, when you've listened to it and read it so many times, there's so many different directions that she could have gone. I mean, obviously, you ultimately have to go one direction, and people like us are going to point out all the other directions it could have went.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
So I don't like to make it sound like, you know, we're kind of talking down about the books. It's just,
oh no,
you know, think about the other scenarios. Like, what if it happened like this? How would that have changed the story? But yeah, for him to say, I don't deny it. Well, isn't that the whole point?
You didn't
That's
kill
the whole point of this.
You should deny it.
Yeah,
I don't deny it, but if you knew the whole story, you just said you don't deny killing my parents, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so there's just different little things in there that she wrote specifically, pseudo-ambiguously, because yes, in his conscience, he felt like it should have been him that was secret keeper and you know, all this stuff. And so it's like
he could have said, I might have killed him.
Yeah, I as good as did it myself, Harry, but I didn't. Yeah. I promise you, I never would have turned on James and Lily.
And I want to say he says something like that later. So
of course,
most of these things that come up that make you think, like, why didn't he just? It comes up later, which is the great writing. Like, well, that's and you might not even notice it if you're not looking for it. Like, why? This is a book you got to question because you get answers later, and even if you don't, you can figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there. I mean, 7 books. There's a lot of tying in. A lot. Man,
they only get better.
And they only get better. I can't even say that we're gonna catch all of it either. We're gonna forget stuff.
I'm going to catch them all.
Oh, yeah? You're going to get all the Pokemon? You got your Pokeballs?
Got to catch them all.
Well, thank you for joining us for this episode. Hit that follow button, hit that like, and share it to all of your
Potter friends.
Yes. So if you were Harry Potter and you were saying who, how would you be saying it? I don't know if you've seen that trend going around lately.
No.
I know. No? That's a weird... if I was Harry Potter and I had to say who, I would say it like, you know, who, or however you think Harry would say it. It's a weird trend going on.
Okay.
I thought you would have seen it. Since you haven't, that kind of went nowhere.
You know,
so join us next time.
This is for that letdown.
So join us next time where we cover Chapter 18, Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. Andrew, go ahead and sign us out.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Squibs Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.